Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As promised, here I am doing a Reddit react for you guys. So let's get into it. Mal Moonlight says, performative as fuck. Lies and more lies. So she's obviously posted this on her Instagram. Best feeling in the world. Even that looks so fake. How fake does that look? It's just like as fake as her laying down and making out that she's sleeping and taking a photo. Best feeling in the world. Sure, Jane. Sure it is. Sure it is. Who does this? She does. To try and convince people that she actually really does care about him. Yeah. Wearing the same Christmas outfit he had on in Home Goods. How many days is it going to be in those Christmas PJs? Maybe it's one of the few things that fit him because Big Al can't bring herself to buy Anderson the right size. Lincoln Babe says, the hand is so big. I know. I thought it was his back. It's massive, like a head. Nothing to see here says it looks so unnatural. It really does. I mean, it's just for social media, but still so unnatural with her own child. Yep. Mal Moonlight says it probably pains her to bend down and hug her own child. She's probably got him on her lap, but I don't think she's bending down. She can't bend. Rice Silly says, we all know the best feeling in the world for her is cinnamon buns. That's right. Or a donut. Scared Strength says, put a jacket on that sweet baby when he's in freezing temps outside. Business Curve, really, Big Bubba? Has he said mama yet? I love that for her. Anson says, wow, her cheeks are huge. Is she filtered here? Let's go back and have another look, shall we? Fucking hell, her hand is massive. Maybe the filters just gave up. Dear God. Or you know what it is, guys? It's the angle. The angle it was taken at. Like, they're not really there. We're just imagining there because, you know, the angle. Oh. Where are we? Here we go. Solid Geologist says, yes and no. She's probably at 5 on the camera, which will make her look slimmer, and she's hiding her face behind Anderson a bit. I also think she's filtered the lighting to smooth her textured skin. Ultimately, nothing overall slimming, but yes, something from the camera setting. Probably the smoothing one. She probably thought in her eyes, because he's covering a bit of her, that she didn't need the slimming filter, and her face came out. Miv Suspicious says only time she even acknowledges Anderson is when it's time to fake for an Instagram stage post. Who rushes to take a pic in these moments that are supposed to be so genuine and sacred? Most of us would live in and soak it. Yeah. Live in it and soak it up, but not Alex. She picked him up with her phone already in hand to take a pic. Yep. Anxious Pay says, sure, Jan. Sweet Potato Time says, when you realise she's holding her phone, yeah, with the camera pointed at herself, and she probably took multiple photos of herself with different expressions and in different poses. I only do this shit with my cat, and I still think that's cringe. I know, I do it with my dog too. And I have to try and get him to look at the fucking camera, so I'm going to have 13 photos. Sharky says, she just ate a pizza and now she's hugging her son to apologise for not giving him any. Corey says, she doesn't have a picture with him where she doesn't look awkward as fuck. Sagittarius, of course it's Big Bubba. He's sleeping. Down south, the best feeling in the world is when she eats and has a crispy Diet Coke. She's not fooling anyone. And the Oscar goes to, yep, Mal Moonlight says, now that I'm thinking about it, someone commented as to why he never goes in for a hug. And boom, there we go. Here's Alex addressing that comment and providing the haters that he hugs her. I can't. Dance, monkey, dance. I love that. Any movie says. Critical Rabbit, that greasy ass hair. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Silver mentions, who is taking the photo? Oh, yeah, it's herself. What a lovely unscripted moment caught purely by accident. It's like the one where she was sleeping. Any Movie 9699 says, she's so stupid. It's almost like she's Gen Alpha and doesn't even understand life outside of being on the internet. Stunted psycho. Stay off the internet and actually help yourself if you actually care about that child. No one cares about your stupid performative pictures. Sabertooth Liger says, the oven dinged that the cookies are ready. I don't know what she means by dinged. Dinged, maybe? Dinged. Beginning guest, random. But what's wild to me is that I used to subscribe to her YouTube when it was Learning to be Fearless. So did I, darling. Or something like that. No clue where she came from. And I can't relate to her weight issues as I'm 5'3" and like 105 pounds. But I like her vibe and found her YouTube videos entertaining for some reason. Well, we all did at the beginning. Anyway, forgot all about her and life goes on. I now have a 3-year-old and saw her on Insta, so it brought back memories. Paid attention and now I'm here. And I am shocked and honestly appalled at the things I'm noticing about her now. The things with her father, the way she is a piece of shite mother. Yep, the list goes on. Such a phony. She proves how fake social media really is. Well, beginning guest, that is fucking fantastic. At least you didn't find her and get sucked in like all the others get sucked in and think that she does nothing wrong. At least you're smart enough to know. Bijavert says, so fake. She doesn't like this feeling. Nope, he's a pain in the ass to her. Diligent P says, this is 100% performative and also disgusting. She's doing it all for show. I freaking hate that. The way she interacts with him is like they're strangers. I have a hard time watching it. Yep. Now, when my nieces were young, I think I have taken over 1 million photos easy with them, both of them. And each one you can see the love in my heart and on my face when I'm hugging them and kissing them and taking the photos. It was genuine. This is purely fucking fake. Fake as. She's hard to look at. Oh, yes, she is. Especially here. Especially when these... Ugh. The jowls come jowling. I can see why she has the need to go crazy on the blush and just makeup in general. I love makeup, but none of what she wears is minimal, natural, or even good like she claims it is. Where are your MAC skills? In the rubbish with everything else? She looks evil in that second pic. I get creeped out by it. I didn't realise there was another pic. Let's have a look. Ew. Ew. That's a yucky one. Blech. Ultima Notte. Ain't no way she just posted this and left it up. Yes, she did. Now, this was firstly brought to my attention by Tara, Country Shade Tree. So she posts this, yeah? She posts this up. Imagine hating immigrants more than pedophiles. She has the nerve to post this up. She, who actually wrote letters to the judge to let her father out earlier when he groped her stepsister 9 times, and she said it brought them closer together, her and her father closer together. She has the nerve to post something like this when she actually goes and still sees her father. Few Thought says, not the pot calling the kettle black. Logical Arachnid says, she hates vegetables more than pedophiles. Yep. And you win the internet today. Most truthful comment about this bimbo. Sad Airline says, complete lack of self-awareness and this feeling of invincibility she has because her stans kiss her ass and she silences everyone else. Oh, please. She needs to be cancelled. Disastrous option says, if only. Move Suspicious it's going to go on a rant. I love it. I have to not let this get to me. Well, it's too late. It got to me when Tara showed me and I wanted to break the computer. Because, honestly, this post and her other one about Jesus, yeah, right, really got me hated. She is very aware of exactly what the F she is doing. This isn't dense or tone deaf. It's not that she has to read the room. She is posting these on purpose with intention, knowing that her father is a pedophile and that he is an active member of Calvary Chapel Church currently, where he is a mentor and counsellor, and he is married to a woman who is involved in the academy that adopts children through the church. It's fucking disgusting. This is where his victim came from. Roger was a pastor and teacher there to young teens. So both of Alex's posts were deliberately done to trigger people. This girl is extremely passive-aggressive and evil. She will rant in her manic episodes, but people need to realise that she speaks in code. Yeah, like this is the way to twist the knife and hurt people. Yep. Just like when she was watching that Christmas movie saying to them, men were, hang on, so many, oh Jesus. Just like when she was watching that Christmas movie saying that them men were catcalling their own, teenage daughters. That's right. That was done and hit below the belt. So many people think that Alex is dumb, just an airhead out here without common sense. No, she's a manipulator. I don't think she doesn't have. I think she doesn't have common sense here, but I think she's a witch, and she's a manipulator, and I think she knows exactly what she's doing. Sometimes she's a pimp. Sometimes she's just dumb because she is dumb, but most of the time she's manipulative, and she knows exactly what she's doing and why she's doing it. That comes from me, not what I'm reading here from Move Suspicious. Okay, she is so more like her calculated, wicked father than people realise. She does stuff like this often in way to mock haters, basically saying that most heinous, outlandish things, but in an indirect way. Narcissists think people can't figure out what their motives or riddles. Yeah, they insult and think people are too dumb to read between the lines, assuming it went over their head. Alex knew exactly what she was saying with every story she posted. Yeah, absolutely. Lunch Lady says, Alex, we know you love your hot father. Standard Girl, yeah, that was icky. Who talks about their father that way? There is a lot of inappropriateness going on in the family dynamics, both with Daddy and Nancy. Lunch Lady K says, calling him hot and visiting him, writing 2 letters in his defence, her relationship with him is just plain nasty. I'm sorry to say this, but I think she is jealous of her adoptive sister. What happened to her sister is so wrong, but Alex calling it sex with a 15-year-old, let me think she is jealous that she didn't get that kind of attention from her father. She needs some serious therapy if she has those kinds of thoughts about her PDF father. Bay Ray says, and I don't doubt that her and Nancy blamed the minor and called her lots of ugly names. Probably. Lunch Lady, I'm 100% they blamed the victim. It's disgusting. Lucy Julie says, bro, did she not call her father that? Yes, she did. Sarcasm. I had no idea she did that. What the F? Yeah, I believe it was in her Draw My Life video. She wrote hottie under father. Sick bitch. John Candy Fashion. Yuck, he looks like a dehydrated PENIS. And she thinks that's hot. Ray Bay says, wow, that was a choice for her to share this. Yeah, after the letters she wrote, calling with what her father did to a minor numerous times a blessing in disguise. Yeah, yep. Dear Resource, letters, plural. Yep, fixed it. I was thinking of one in particular where she said that. Lawball says, her actions speak louder than words. Ray Bay says, like your daddy, Alex, seriously, what the F? Jesus watching the worst people on the planet claim to be his followers. Yes. Oh, poor man. Fast Structure. Is she okay? Like, honestly, her posts lately have been unhinged and effing weird. Standard Girl says, I just commented under another post that she is visibly spiralling. You can see it in her eyes, facial expressions and behaviours. The crazy is visibly shining through. Fast Structure. The virtue signalling is off the charts and I really cannot handle it. She is disgusting. I wish she would just stick to her ugly Amazon clothes hauls and sit down while her adults in the room are speaking. Yes, and if Yartard Fugly roommate was home on Monday or working from home when her and Nasty Nancy went to Home Goods and took Anderson, trouble in paradise? Sounds like there's trouble in paradise. I expect he was working from home and probably didn't want to look after him. She's overwhelmed and losing her crap. I hope so. How I hope she is. Move Suspicious says, I honestly have to leave this shit alone. It's not even funny at this point. It's rage bait and triggering as fuck. No, because people actually really do care about that little child. Care more for him than she does. No, Tamara says, the problem is she doesn't view that her father did wrong, therefore she doesn't classify him as a PDF. Her addressing it, an apology video that she made very clear where she used the phrasing had sex with a 15-year-old, rather calling it what it is, grape. An adult cannot have sex with a minor, it's always grape. Basic Beach says, that's what I was coming here to write. She does not think of him as a pedophile, she thinks of him, she doesn't think that he did anything wrong. She sees it as consensual because the girl's age. That's how she reconciles it in her mind so she can be with her dad. Enigma Mum says exactly because at 16 her own mother allowed her to chase after a grown man, shack up with him in his home country of Jamaica, and thought that was perfectly okay. So her dad, molesting a 15-year-old is not out of the norm to her. Both her parents are sick individuals. Background Cup. She doesn't see her father as a pedo, just as a man who had SES with the 15-year-old, so that makes it totally okay in her eyes to overlook the violent, repeated grapes of a minor. So posting this right before the vacation to see the pedo she defended was a choice. Bay Ray says, so true, her not calling it what it is speaks volumes as how she truly feels about it. Background Cup. Her initial excuse she spewed in that video was this was his medication that made him commit violent grape of a minor. No medication has ever turned anyone to a grapist. Yep. Then she lied and claimed she was manipulated all in the same video. So which is it? That she was manipulated? I think he was manipulated, she meant to say. This is her trying to put on an act like her trip to Florida isn't to be seeing him when it's 100% it is. She's trying to act like she has no contact with him, but watch this trip to Fort Lauderdale, same as every year. Critical Rabbit, he was convicted of 9 counts. Knowing how hard it is to convict, you can at least triple the number of those offences. Yeah, it's only the 9 times that we know about. Curious Reed says, she said her dad is hot. Yep. It's like she's jealous of her adopted sister. Nasty. I hope Mrs. Snowflake and Nella find this and include this in their reactions. Bay Ray. Critical Rabbit. Skeletons in the closet. Needs to save it forever. Typical handle. Rage bait. She is truly horrible person. Such dare. But Alex, you love pedophiles. The court has proof and everything. Yep. A letter dated 2023 with her current address on it. Various says, holy F, I'm blocked on her Instagram. Are there any comments calling this out? Wow, she can go straight to hell. Karma, please come and get this bitch. I'm surprised that people still haven't heard of this still. Bayray said, it's not a post, it's a story, so I doubt she would have commented calling it out. Various Jellyfish says, oh, okay, I couldn't tell from the pic. Either way, she's a vile BITCH, yep. She has no self-awareness. What a fucking hypocrite. The way I ran here after seeing her post this bullshit. Me too. Meet the kettle. Calling the kettle black. Key Comfortable says her pappy is a convicted pedophile of his own adopted daughter that she defended and wrote letters on behalf for early release. She doesn't see him as a pedophile. Make it make sense. She is that dense and that tone deaf. Standard Girl says, I dare taking it a step further. I think she was jealous of her stepsister because daddy desired her sexually. It shows in the famous family pic taken shortly after this release where Alex was highly wearing sexual provocative clothing, see-through blouse, lingerie, black velvet choker. She was actually competing for sexual attention. These are sick people, y'all. Wouldn't put it past her. I sprinted here. Same, I slipped on the way, Time Pumpkin said. Bay Ray, she co-signed getting one off probation, calling his essay on a minor a blessing in disguise. Yep. Blessing in disguise because it brought her and her father closer together. Bay Ray says, in her brain, she likely doesn't associate him as that still. She referred to what he did in a dismissive way, and I'm sure her and Nancy blame the minor, calling her horrible names. The way they supported him and the way they talk about other women, I don't doubt that for a second. Rage baiting, performative BITCH, cherry creaming. Wednesday says, unbelievable. I was shocked even she was this stupid to post this. Lily's in the Valley. I love that name. Lily's in the Valley says, I think she's trying to buy the Roger ordeal, to bury the Roger ordeal and pretend that the whole thing never happened. This is why she has no problem saying that she's going to Florida soon. It's like that expression, the best place to hide something is in plain sight, or trying to get a new audience. So fucking true. Accomplished of all the signs to repost, signs to repost, she chooses that. How has she managed to make it into her 30s and alive with so little brain power? Her sole brain cell is purely decorative. She's doing it to try and tell people that, shove it up you. I don't agree with my dad, when we all know that she agrees with her father. Benson says, her rage baiting is getting worse. I'm glad we get on your nerves, Big Al. Disastrous option. Exactly. We see you, Bish. Now she only wants to go to stores when they first open and no one is there. Wow, are you that paranoid about being caught out in the wild and they take a picture of your 300-pound ass and post what you really look like so we can call you out on your BS, Rodriguez? Just curious. Inquiring minds want to know. We see you, Big Mama. The irony, yep. Wild Ordinary says, stuff you, Alex. After your FAT ass writes 2 letters in support of sickos, stuff you. I despise you, FAT COW, by the way. Taking your son to see him as well, you effing nut job, stuff you. Everyone despises you. Her daddy needs to be deported. I could think of better things that can happen to her dad. It's to do with a wood chipper. To the bottom of the ocean where all the bottom feeders are. Curious Read says, what a psycho troll. We know where you stand about PDF files, Alex. Laughing out loud. If you are not a pedo supporter, then you would do this. Number 1, legally denounce your 2 letters. Write to the Florida State Attorney. He can be charged for perjury or subordination of perjury if you report that he lied to you to make you have written those letters. He would never. Or were you lying that he lied to you in the same way you lied about writing your letters in 2023? Number 2, make a formal public statement of sympathy for your sister, which you'll never do. Number 3, delete all of your photos and videos in which you talked about him, stayed in Florida and lied about your 2023 letter. Number 4, tell the internet that you had that pervert at your wedding and wrote to support him in 2023 and you go to see him every year. Curious Read, this is fantastic. Number 5, contact a lawyer to draft a statement. Number 6, file a notice of strike about the letters. File a sworn affidavit of fact the clerk of the court regarding his fraud to get you to write the letters. Number 8, notify the Broadway County State Attorney's Office. Number 9, notified Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Number 10, close your moronic career down. More people hate you than you know. This will all harm Anderson socially and he already has enough on his plate with the grandpa he has and a mother like you and on it goes. Yep. She will never do anything listed here. Never. Because that will be, you laid it out brilliantly. She did. That will be saying and admitting that she's wrong and that we are right. Vanita says, wow, the audacity. Do her followers not know about her? Yeah, they do. They just don't care. She's such a morally bankrupt person. She is so effing dumb. Oh my God, she didn't. Yes, she did. No self-awareness at all. There is self-awareness. She just did it on purpose. The MDMGH says the level of hypocrisy deserves an unfollow. I stopped watching her videos out of boredom and incredible dumbness, but she's been something else for the last year or so. Agile Masterpiece says self-awareness is not her strong suit. Hell, it's not even on her radar. Insane. Dear reactors, post this on your community wall with a side-by-side of the letter she wrote for her pedo dad. Alex, you should have sat this one out. Oh, she forgot her father is a PDF. She is delusional. She is a disgusting person. What? Her lack of awareness is showing. The audacity. I hope the people in the comments drag her cereal-liking, flat pasty stank, snow shovel-shaped, court-documented, convicted child rapist alley ass through the filth that she is. I can't tell if she liked it because she sympathises with the statement. Hang on, I can't tell if she liked it because she sympathises with the statement or agrees with it. Lurking Lobo, she posts this because she gets away with it. Yeah. Yep. Emotional escape. Your sperm donating father who abandoned you as a child is a PDF file that you supported twice by writing him letters, not once, but twice. That isn't a mistake. That was a deliberate decision and choice that you made. Your father raped a minor, 15-year-old girl multiple times. You still support him till this fucking day. OMG, someone needs to comment on that original post and in the comments tag her and be like, girl, what? It's a story that you can't reply to. Oh, sorry, I don't have Instagram to see that. Yeah, she made sure that it was a story that disappears. She is so dumb. She's not dumb. She knows exactly what she's doing. Monomia says, is she baiting a conversation? Because I know channels dedicated to exposing her active support and participation in the release of a PDF with not one letter of support but two. Would be happy to remind those of us who know and those who don't. It's either this or she is so deep in her own lies and deceptions she forgot she publicly supported her release of a PDF. No question about it, she absolutely blames the victim. Therefore, she doesn't view it as a crime. This is why she has the unbelievable audacity to refer to the crime as having sex, or equally as disgraceful, calling it a blessing in disguise. It must also allow her to put blinders on and ignore the statistics, that say as a PDF file he will offend again. If it's the victim's fault, 9 times over, mind you, then he must be exempt for those statistics. Or does she even care? I honestly don't know how her channel survived this, which is why posting this seems like a very odd choice on her antagonistic thing to do, because she's a rage baiting mole. Enigma Mum says, Alex sees no wrong in what her father did to her stepsister. Since Alex has been victimised too by both her parents, her mother thinks it's hilarious and a public area of discussion as to how Alex's father used to walk around the home with his manhood on display and wiggle it around. Nasty Nancy's own words. That's early grooming of a child predator. Nasty did nothing about that years later. Nasty would not only allow but encourage her 16-year-old daughter to move to Jamaica after an adult man and approve of her shacking up with said man. I seriously doubt Alex and the Jamaican man were playing cards all the time. That is trafficking of a minor. I am not absolving I think it meant to be facts of her callous attitude towards her stepsister. But when she has no moral compass, thanks to the two monsters in her life, she easily sees nothing wrong with what her father did, nor how she reacts towards it. They created the monster she has become and will continue the circle of abuse with her own child, unfucking fortunately. Pizza and Soda says, Hottie Daddy walking around Fort Lauderdale with his junk hanging out while his ex-wife and daughter visit every year. Is she effing serious? Yes, she is. Now she's just rage baiting. Can we collectively give her the middle finger back? Rage bait as its best, yep. The way she called him my daddy as a grown-ass adult in that baby voice gave me the ick. I know it was disgusting and grossed me out. Agree she is as sick as her dad and mother. The whole family is off. And then there's shaking my head. Okay, alfalfa. This sign isn't even true. Texas Blue says, oh my God, I was going to post the same screenshot. Dearest mummy has some nerve. I mean, is she really trying to piss people off with that post? MMG says, we all know her spontaneous political powerness was bullshit, but this solidifies it. This is why I hate the rhetoric. Anyone who isn't speaking to complicit and showing where they stand, that's such a bullshit narrative, and it results in disingenuous sheep standing up and echoing important messages they know nothing about, which waters down the issue and reduces it in an echo chamber instead of something meaningful. There are many people who care deeply about what's going on in the world, speaking on it because they have an educated stance, and good for them, But don't anyone dare poke the ignorant influencer masses and tell them to speak up, because just because they should. If they don't care and if they don't have a single clue what they're advocating for, then they shouldn't. Nobody is benefiting from them disingenuously copy and pasting to cross cancellation of their quota. So fucking true. Artistic Click says this post just reaffirms that she doesn't see her father as a PDF file and that the victim isn't one, but it was just a consensual sex. Tell us how you feel without telling us how you feel, Alex. You know that sign doesn't even look real. It looks like it's photoshopped, so she's so fucking dumb to think that was even real. Chance Economics says, I hate all the virtue signalling coming from wealthy influencers and celebrities. Alex has a PDF file father, dad at her wedding, and defends him with those two letters. Yep. Why is she using Instagram? When you get the notification that your Instacart shopper is a man, what the hell? When you get the notification that your Instacart shopper is a man. And? I once had a man Instacart shopper exchange my toddler's applesauce pouches for a giant box of rice, crispy squares, like you're telling me there was no one single applesauce in the whole store. When do you ever use Instacart? You're in the supermarket pretty much every day, it seems. And she writes, I actually go to the shop 3-5 times. I actually grocery shop 3 to 5 times a day. What the fuck? A day? What an idiot. She's saying that because it's a man, she doesn't like them to pick her stuff. Is that what she's trying to say? She literally out shopping daily, and according to Reply, she grocery shops 3-5 times a day. Sure fucking Jan. Sure you do. New Hampshire girl, she thinks she's being cute and funny, but her weight is evidence that she's constantly shopping for food and eating. Lolball says, true, Alex is constantly thinking about obtaining the eating the food. We can tell by looking at her. Oh, God, there's that photo. Jesus. Look at that. Wow. Move suspicious. I actually grocery shop 3-5 times a day. Sorry, 3 to 5 times a day. When do you relax? And she wonders why people hate her smug, bitchy, antagonistic, FAT, miserable, sloppy, lazy, ugly. Violently annoyed says she can say anything and her fans are like, oh my God, that's hilarious. The blind leading the blind. Yep. She's been sarcastic, rage baiting us. Yes, that's why I added the laughing emoji. Her sarcasm shining right through. I thought she was finally being honest. When, Enigma? When? I can believe with that. She food shops 5 times a day. She probably does, maybe off camera. Answer says, I noticed that the front fupa gate is growing in size even though she's sitting down. Damn, worry. Don't worry, FATLEX. No one is attracted to you, not even your roommate. Standard Girl says, I noticed that too. Why is she always accentuating the fupa in tight sweatpants? It looks disgusting. First thing I noticed, what the F is she going on with? What's going on with that fupa? Hang on, I've got to go back up and look. Oh, yeah. Yep. Because she always thinks, and she always has thought, and wants to wear shorter midriff tops so she can show her stomach because she thinks there's nothing wrong with it. That's why. It's sarcasm. No, she's serious. She was trying to make a joke but accidentally told the truth. She 100% serious. The hump is expanding. Look like she's wearing a backpack under her sweater. Them cheeks are inflated. And I love that for her. I love it. Where do people go when they have no friends and they don't have a real job? The grocery store 3-5 times a day. The one time she did not lie. The internet looking for friends. The baby has the same outfit in every post. Guess she got him one outfit to 100 sweatshirts since December. It sounds like she's trolling back to the original comment. I really hope that's not true because that's ridiculous. It's not a joke when you look like you go food shopping 3 times a day. Like, girl, the joke's on you. Why is Anderson still in the same outfit as last Tuesday? Is that the only thing he fits into now? Mel Moonlight? Child neglect. Background cup? So she goes to Target every day and is on Instacart 3 to 5 times a day. Make it make sense. Edit to add. She's probably being sarcastic, but with how much she needs groceries in every vlog, I wouldn't consider it to be a stretch. She's still taking what's trending on TikTok and posting it to Instagram. She doesn't dare post on TikTok anymore because they allow picture comments. Damn it. Mumio says, was that a typo? Did she mean 3 to 5 times a week, but did a Freudian slip by saying a day? No, because a comment below her was applauding her for the clapback. Weak ass clapback, in my opinion. Saying you shop 3 to 5 times a day to be snippy and sarcastic only works when you're not 400 pounds. This is supposed to say why... Hang on. Quirky Effective says, that is supposed to say, why is she using Instacart? I didn't catch the autocorrect change. Pizza and soda, that's not a flex. If you can't focus on a simple grocery list for 2 adults and 1 toddler for 1 week, that's embarrassing. I can't imagine leaving work 3 to 5 times a day to go and pick food. Why is her hand on her coochie? Ooh, helpful expressions. Boycotting Target because they support ICE. Let's see if she gets the memo. No, couldn't care less. She couldn't care less. Mal Moonlight, I don't think she gives a F. Yeah, she doesn't. She also has a Tesla. As long as she's comfortable, she don't give an F. Mal Moonlight says, imagine being a toddler mama and clapping back at the haters. Girl, get a life and go lose the WEIGHT. That HUMP is huge. Take care of that. Dr. Forrester Rip says she's either lying about ordering 3 to 5 times a day, or she's gorging that much she has to keep restocking her snacks. Pure air, she needs to get herself a job and or hobby instead of doing nothing but troll us all day, every day. She goes food shopping more than I do. I only go once a week, but I guess when you have an ADDICTION, you go shopping a lot more. Enigma Mum, FATL, your sexism is showing your pretentious fraud. I use Instacart and have had many male shoppers, young and old, and they are fantastic. Yeah, I'm surprised that she even posted something like this. She knew she was going to get picked on. You are so disgusting, looking down your nose at everyone. Perhaps you need shamed. Perhaps you need shamed over on the Instacart thread. Perhaps you need shamed over on the Instacart thread. Why is she grabbing her crotch in that photo? Because apparently she needs that kind of attention. She should shop for a trough. What a warthog. Yep, she's a STUPID, a hole, FAT as F, and trying to be smug. No, and there's no reason for her to be showing Anderson. I know. Like, you think that that's going to be saying something about her son, but it's not. Nothing to do with him. Do you think Alex is letting Anderson see the pedo grandpa without a court order or permission, which is a felony? Curious Reed says, Florida law is clearly... Give me a sec, guys. My leg has gone numb. You know when you're sitting on your leg for too long? Okay. Florida law is really clear that a predator like Roger Allen Thomas of a minor relative, 12 to 15 years old, is banned for life from being alone with any minor. Well, he's not alone. He'll be with her, so she probably will take him to see him. To be able to see Anderson legally, he has to petition the court for permission from the judge. But you mean alone? I don't think he needs a permission to see his grandson if he's got the mother there and the grandmother. He has to petition the court of permission for the judge and SEX predator therapist. Both Alex and Yar have to give written permission to the court, but that's if he wants to see him by himself, yeah, I think. They have to sign off on a court-approved Department of Children and Family Safety Plan for his supervised visits, and they have read the full list of his crimes. The supervisor of his visits then has to be vetted and approved by the court and the court-approved therapist. If Anderson is getting non-court-approved visits, even if Alex and Yar approve, it always qualifies as a felony child neglect, with possibly the removal of child from parents to a relative or foster care of termination of parental rights. This is serious shite. Regardless of Alex and Yar acting like they're winning, she's posing an aspirational influencer toddler mum, and Yar is her slimy sidekick who is in charge of an entire school district finances, not to mention who's an Army National Guard senior captain. He is also banned from daycares, malls, parks, including amusement parks, public swimming pools, school bus stops, and playgrounds. He's banned from several cruise lines. Fucking hell. And for others, he's banned from family areas on cruises. Fucking fantastic. I could think of something much, much better, though. Much, much better. Give me one sec, guys. Hang on. Oh, okay. I remember Sparkle OTP says, I remember this being discussed a while ago. I do believe both Alex and Ya did give permission. It's one of the reasons I despise Ya. Not only did he give permission, he doesn't even go. He's not looking after his own child in this situation. I don't remember, and I probably watched every video of Alexandra's. I don't remember any of them giving permission. They would have spoken about it. I'm not saying Sparkle is wrong, but I don't remember any person, any Alexandra or her husband giving permission for the father to see the son by himself. Mumio says, sick. He has no fatherly instincts, so along with the mother who's no motherly instincts, he has no parents, even considering his safety. That's so damn sad. They are all pedo supporters. I am still sure are. I am still shocked she was not fully cancelled after that video where she said he had sex with a 15-year-old and implying it was the child's fault. Being sick and the assholes still supporting her are pedo supporters as well, in my mind. Absolutely. It's the only logical explanation. Very true, Sparkle. She has a management company that protects her. Sad Airline says, how much money is she actually making them for them to protecting her and keeping her around? Even after being associated with a child predator. They don't even advise her on the Instagram page. I wonder if she's paying them more out of her pocket to keep her around. I can't see her generating that much commission for them. Yeah, I suspect she is paying them more money. Tricktail says, this is insane. If I was a management company, I would never sign on Alex. Such a risk, and had bad look for the management company. Nikai says, yeah, but sometimes money does talk. Money is the root of all evil, and people are greedy. Nikai says it's still too common. It is still too common with the underage teens, especially when it's a teen boy, to giggle about how lucky they are. And back in the good old days, it wasn't a bad thing. Yes, it was. To giggle about how lucky they are. Curious read. Oh, okay, but did the judge give permission? They're all such liars. It's hard to think about a judge would approve, especially since his adopted daughter has had a restraining order against him for stalking. If Alex and Ya gave permission without the judge, it's a felony child neglect charge. The court order or permanent injunction or supervision for this would be in his case file. I can't say the name. Ruro Shaggy? Has anyone found any docs filed for him to be at the wedding where there were kids around? Something was said about it that I think he did ask the court and the court let him, but I don't think the court knew that there were going to be children there. Don't quote me, but I think that's what happened. Short presentation said, when did they give permission? That is so depressing. Ya has given up entirely, and I hate him for doing that. I hate him for doing so. His son is collateral damage. Yep. Sagittarius, Alex and Nasty Nancy don't think Roger did anything wrong. He's a victim of the system, don't you know? That's right. Seeing when you say don't you know, also, do you remember when... Oh, hang on. I was just about to say something and I bloody forgot it. He's a victim... Oh, yeah, that's right. When Nancy was complaining that people should be more opening of their arms and giving them more work when they come out of... They've done their time. You know, they've done their time in jail, and when they come out, they should be able to make it easier for them to find work. She wrote a thing, I think it was on her Facebook page, saying that. They're concerned it's just another visit with Grandpa. You'd think that since he is convicted felon and registered sexual predator, the truth might have sunk in by now. Truth, but as we know it, these wingnuts think that they know everything, so it's impossible to reason with these types. Lurker says, yes, definitely I do. And let us not forget that this is also on Ya. Absolutely. Who has already started causing irreparable damage to what reputation he has by not forbidding Dookie from having that child molester at their wedding. Absolutely. Writing the second letter of allegiance, to a pedo, and allowing Anderson to go on the trip last year. Yep, and he'll allow him again. Deliberately allowing children to be exposed to the presence of a filthy convicted PDF file is indefensible and warrants being undercovered. The more he's also called out as a collaborator, the better. Wait and see when it gets closer to their trip. I have a feeling she's going to say something. I don't know why, but I have a feeling she's going to say something about her father. All I know is I'm going to bring it up every fucking time about them going to see him. She can talk till she's blue in the face, but we all know she's going to go and see him and take her son. Basic Beach says, to be honest, I don't think they are doing anything through the court system. They just go down there and see him. Who is going to know or tell? That's exactly right. I'm sure she's not parading through the streets with him and Anderson. They do it in secret, inside of his house, a rental home or a hotel room. That's so fucking true. They don't sit down and watch these loser men like hawks. So he basically does whatever he wants. I can pretty much guarantee you, isn't he off of probation or whatever he was on anyway? That means he still has to register as a SEX offender for the rest of his life, but he's not going to get permission for things anymore because his wife works with children, and I thought someone said he's helping her. And if he was still on probation, he wouldn't be allowed to do that. Regardless, I don't think he's on probation anymore. Regardless, they are not going through the courts for anything. They just do whatever they want because they think they are above that and better than anyone else. They are all narcissists. Basic Beach, fucking spot on. Curious Reed says, yes, he's classified as a sexual predator, not an offender. There are many restrictions in place for predators who've committed 3 rapes like he has against his 15-year-old daughter in his home, who pleaded guilty, plus who stalked his victim while on probation and has an additional restraining order on him. Florida laws for him are different than for an offender and are very strict regarding being around any minors in general after probation is over. Contact with minors in general supervised only with court approval. Alone with a minor, illegal. So contact with minors in general, does that mean even if the parents are around? Alone with the minor, illegal if there's an injunction, otherwise only strict court-approved supervision. Out in the community, allowed, but he can't interact with minors anywhere or be near schools and other minor-centered places. Yeah, it doesn't make sense though, because he's with his wife who runs that thing for the church, the adoption program. It makes no sense. You mean to tell me he's not around them? He just hasn't been caught. Okay, Alfalfa, I'm with you. They are not going through the courts. They are just keeping their visits on the down low. Nobody is checking on him. Agreed. Sad Airline, I'm not sure what the stipulations are with him seeing Anderson as long as other adults are present, but I know Roger being alone with Anderson would be a huge issue. I know a predator that got arrested because he was alone with his own son, but I still don't understand how he has any type of involvement in foster care agency. That's exactly right. That to me is wild and can't be legal. I don't think he has though. I think his wife does, but he's still around, you know? It's just like Alex in the same sense that there seems to be no consequences. I know, it sucks. Nikai says they at least signed off to have him at the wedding around Ya's young nieces. I wonder if the parents knew and signed off. Wouldn't surprise me if they were happy to have Anderson around him. Wouldn't surprise me if they were happy to have Anderson around him. I don't know. Curious Reed says he had to get a judge to approve his attendance after a sex predator therapist did a risk assessment management to clear him to go. All the parents of any children there had to be notified of all his crimes and given written permission to the probation officer. I wonder if they did though. We know what should have been done, but was it done? He would have a legal supervisor chaperone who would be vetted and approved by the probation officer because of the children. This person had to sign a document that they are legally responsible for keeping him at arm's length and within their sight at all times. I think someone who looked at his case said he got arrested when he got back in Florida, but I'm not sure about what he was arrested for. I don't think Alex or Ya told the parents anything about him, neither do I. I think that they also don't have court permission for Anderson to see him. Powder and Paint says, I'm really surprised that they are allowed to go anywhere where children will be at all, even with permission and supervision. Same. Nikai says, and thing is, none of this works. I think there's not a lot you can do, repent for, without the religious undertones. If you truly try to fix what you broke, you can't rehab pedos. You can't. It's been tried over and over. He should never have been allowed near the children. Enigma Mum says, it would seem that Alan Yarn did not in fact notify any of the parents. A few weeks back, one of her friends in Rhode Island, who was at the wedding with her children, posted on here, and she had a lot to say. Where was it though? Where the hell? If I remember correctly, she was on a borrowed account of one of our long timers on here. Oh my god, jeez, I hope we could see it. Gloomy Art says they are all demented. Terrible end. My stepfather is a convicted PDF. That's sad. That terrible end says, I just let Carmen take care of him. Everything bad keeps happening to him and I don't even have to do anything. My mum told me a few minutes ago the snowstorm this weekend knocked a tree onto their carport, smashing both of their cars and both of his cars. Sucks to suck, I guess. Just know that, people, because there are rules doesn't mean they're being followed. People who have done worse sure aren't. I've said before, I've been in the shoes of a victim of Roger, and her dismissal of what she did to her is what opened my eyes to how manipulative she is. She lies about the stupidest things to an audience of thousands. She will have no issue lying to whoever to get what she wants, including involving this. So true, terrible end. So true. She takes him there, so I assume they've signed legal papers. All of them are sick. No, you can't assume that they've signed legal papers. Who's going to know if she takes to see her son? She's not like she's going to fucking post it on Facebook or Instagram. Real foundation. It's a felony to lie to the court, which Alex confessed in her I need to put things straight in video, blaming her father manipulated her. So felony keeps being committed and nothing ever happens. Alright, I can't do more reading about her father. I'm done. Chin's cover up at home. Yeah, we saw that. The entire house is an accident waiting to happen. Move suspicious. Nothing is childproof. Look how tall Anderson is. What a cutie. His head is level with the corners of the table. He can reach his hand to grab those beads and pull everything down on top of him. Yeah, he could have grabbed those beads. He didn't go near them. Not yet, anyway. Not in that vlog. What a cutie. Is this move suspicious? Yeah, it was. During this clip, Dumb and Dumber, we're going on and on about trying to shield the upper and baby stroller, completely ignoring Anderson. He's walking now and getting into everything. Look at all this breakable heavy clutter that Alexandra has all over her house. This room isn't childproof. That ugly ass bookshelf, yeah, if it's bookshelf is in there. That urinal vase and this unnecessary table with sharp corners and edges with a vase, candles and beads and books on it that can fall onto Anderson within seconds. They never pay attention to him or watch him. These two are so unfit as parents. Neither of them are willing to adapt or change their selfish lives to better suit their child's needs. Cool Read Bro says, but you guys, Anderson isn't interested in my decorations. New Hampshire girl says, and she thinks it's such a flex to say that. My child is delayed and it makes me so proud. I know. Yeah, because his delays mean her stuff isn't compromised. That's right. Basic Animal says that a huge bowl is probably heavy and just waiting to be flipped onto his little head. I could also see him swatting that Yankee candle right onto the floor in a nanosecond. Move suspicious. Isn't that bowl stone or ceramic? It's extremely heavy and could seriously hurt him, if not worse. I've seen people make their homes more dog friendly when they get a new puppy than Alex has and for their own son. Beautifully said. Anastasia says, I saw someone on TikTok, and she picked up a smaller bowl commenting on how solid it was. She did not buy it, stating she had a little one. The shape was a bit different, but the size and colour looked the same. Not only his head, but his toes. And her flying into a rage, screaming. It shows with Bruni's behaviour when she is around. When she is around, and even when she hands him an Advent treat. This alone tells on her. Yes, I believe she screams at him, most likely at Anderson. Like she hasn't abused him enough. Dealer says, I've literally put away like 90% of all my home decor because my child's safety comes first. Move suspicious. Everybody has been screaming that to her since she was pregnant to change her home around to better suit a child. Nothing in her house is safe and kid-friendly. She doesn't even have a lock on her basement door. If Anderson pushes that door handle down, it will open and he will fall down the basement stairs. She claims to have a child locks on the cabinets now, but we've seen him still opening them. She never was willing to change her aesthetic for her son. Then don't have kids, Alex. It's so scary and gives me anxiety. And she's only just now, because everyone's going on about that she hasn't childproofed her house properly, that she went and bought the stuff for the corners in her latest upload. Zem says she's so busy getting her fixed in the kitchen she wouldn't even notice if you toppled down the basement stairs. Move Suspicious says, oh my God, I can't. What will it take? Look at the situation with Emily Kaiser. I know. People begged her to put a gate around her pool and she got mad blocking them. Look what happened. It's devastating and so tragic. Watching Alex be so arrogant and smug, not caring about her kid, is pure evil. She capitalizes off it and milks it for attention. Truly sickening. Anastasia says, and she tries to emulate Emily Kaiser, but apparently she is too dense to realize the parallels. Move Suspicious. It's disgusting and heartbreaking to watch, knowing Alex and Ya both don't care. They both have an whatever type prideful attitude, unwilling to take heed to parental advice because they think they know better than everyone else. Inevitable War says that's why she didn't want him walking. I figured she'd confine him to the playroom because she cares more about her decor than the safety of her son. She was getting mad when he had enough dexterity to pull the towel off the oven. Move Suspicious says, oh my God, so true. This was only for the vlog. Usually he's in bed, his car seat or stroller or high chair and contained. Paper Bliss says, it makes me sick to see a mother care a bit more about her gaudy decor than safety of her child. Ya is no better. I pray that they don't continue to reproduce. Papercraft Bliss, me too. It's evil in my opinion. She's basically saying she gives 0 Fs about his safety. That is why she's so dangerous and abusive. It will only get worse. Okay, Alfalfa says, she said he is not interested in getting into stuff. She's not worried. I would be worried if my toddler didn't have curiosity about normal child things at his age. I used the hell out of corner bumpers when my kids were little. Yep, and she just bought them today. Move Suspicious. She needs to change her whole house. We've told her this since she got pregnant. Well, supposedly. Anderson is almost 2 years old and nothing has changed to make it child friendly. She's given him one room and let the rest of the house be a death trap. Both her and Ya are selfish pieces of shite who shouldn't be parents. Yep. Even that room needs some baby proofing done to it. She's oblivious to protecting her son. Quirky, effective. Neither of them actually care. They both put themselves above their child. Lunch Lady Kate. When my daughter started crawling, my parents told me to get on the floor. And if I could reach it from laying on the floor, it isn't safe. That's great. Let's see what else. Data Aggravating says her and Ya are so self-absorbed and into making their own shows. And into their shows and games. Anderson will have to show them what he can do by destroying some parts of that house. Alex hasn't one maternal instinct in her body. Her only acts of mothering is picking Anderson up for the camera thumbnail and buying unnecessary items to make her life easier. Love you, Data Aggravating. Move Suspicious says they both are unfit parents. Neither have changed anything about their lives in 2 years for their son. Not one sacrifice for Anderson. Shaking my head. They can both kick rocks. Tabitha Pickle. The table too. He could get unsteady and grab the leg and pull the whole thing down. The bowl itself could really take him out. I am sick even saying that because the fact that we care more about his safety than his ex-sperm donors make me nauseous. These people are morons. But I'm so glad that she had a cinnamon roll and her lucky football sweatshirt on. For fuck's sake, she's so hell-bent on showing the meanness. Anderson's walking. She's so hell-bent showing... the meanies, sorry. Anderson's walking that she doesn't realise it's just a highlight of her neglect. Excellent comment. Facts. It's gut-wrenching to watch all this and see all her anger around Anderson just waiting to occur. The danger around Anderson waiting to occur. All the wires and cords she leaves around. Oh my God, it makes me so nervous. Undiscovered Toy says, but what about her aesthetic? Alex's logic will never cease to amuse me. Buys a white couch equals then gets a puppy and claims she's always wanting to be a mother and kids are messy. Replaces the coffee table in the living room so it's safe for Anderson. Great. But she doesn't bother to replace any other furniture with sharp corners. Oh, she's got it. She'll make it just a playroom for him so she can lock him in there and doesn't have to sacrifice the aesthetic of her house. Yeah, or get it dirty. Except for the fact that she doesn't actually keep him trapped in there, so he's free to wander the house aimlessly without supervision and his access to dangerous decor and furniture. Again, a baby gate and locks are just not aesthetically pleasing, so she can't be bothered to use them. Poor Anderson suffers because of her selfishness and egotistical narcissistic persona that she shields to strangers online. Standard girl, this. Also, there is no baby gate at the step of the stairs and the outside deck. It's just a matter of time that she leaves the sliding door cracked open and Anderson can peep out and follow Bruno into the pool yard. A pool yard? A poop yard, yeah. Playing jellyfish says, glass candle dropping on his foot or breaking, playing and falling with the candlesticks, dropping whatever the hell that bowl is on the right onto himself. I've had 4 kids and all that junk. Yes, junk has to go. She needs to also, mind you, this is after she has decluttered. She needs to also use something on the corner of the table so he doesn't hurt his head and eyes. Yep, spot on all this. She thinks we're trolls if we tell her though. Shaking my head, smug ass, bitch. Can't take any advice. Why does he look so small at 2 years old? I think it's filters. He's actually quite large when he's next to other children, because of Alex's abuse, neglect, and deliberate delay keeping him a baby. He's not almost 2 years old. He's turned 1 in August. He's like 17 months old, so I think he looks fine for that age. She also takes him to her office, and huge mirror is there and isn't secured to the wall. He could pull it onto himself. Letter says, yes, this is insane. My baby isn't even crawling yet and I'm working on childproofing already, but I know he isn't going to try. Because I know he is going to try pull himself up on the furniture. Once he gets moving, your child should fit into your life and home, and you shouldn't have to get rid of your personal things forever. But you do have to make your home safe for your child to grow up in. Put your ugly decor shit away for a few years. It truly will not be the end of the world. Move Suspicious says, Alex is too much of a narcissist and selfish to change anything in her life. She's acting like she's child-free since Anderson was born. That's so fucking true. If she wanted to continue living her life the way she is, then don't have kids. She wanted a baby for money. She loved the pregnancy, but nothing else if she was pregnant. She wants the fake staged Instagram pics holding Anderson, but not any of the responsibility that comes with being a mother. She hasn't budged at all. She dug her fat cankles into the ground, firmly unwilling to adapt to his needs. She is stubborn, spoiled, obese toddler who is centered around herself. Anderson will grow up hating her, guaranteed. I hope so. God, I had a dream about Alex. I wouldn't call that a dream. Oh, God. Baby need... Yeah, see? Someone picked up on it. His tooth never used to be like that. You haven't seen that bougie 160 water bottle except in that one video. It's fucking new. According to Social Blade, Alex's average 30-day income. Oh, I couldn't care less what she gets, how much money she gets. Alex's subscribers are wacko. Yes, they are. I hope that you feel better and your voice gets better. I am one of those people that could watch you and sit and stare at a wall. I love you so much. Thank you for continuing to show up even when you don't feel good. Fucking nut job. What a loser. Oh, God, yeah, but true, very true, but at least John Candy was funny and talented. Okay, I'm going to leave it here and I'll be back tomorrow to read you some more. I just can't read any more of her today. I think I've done enough. Leave me your comments down below, guys. I really, really appreciate it, and I'll read them out at the next Reddit readout. Thank you so much for staying along with me. This is quite a long video, I think, and I appreciate you so much. Leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.